Wow, that was wonderful. Next on our program is Kamryn Rackley. Now I want you to try to remember her name. She loves to write, and she's already written her first full-length novel. Maybe you'll hear about her again someday. Maybe you'll find her name on a bestseller list somewhere someday.
My name is Kamryn Rackley, and I was 9 years old when I became an award-winning published author. Thanks to a contest held at my local library, I had the chance to, if I won, get my own book published and circulated. I was thrilled, and with so many big ideas racing through my head, I knew that this was my opportunity to write a 300-page, action-packed, complex novel with profound themes and great characters. In my mind, this was going to be my masterpiece. But that went about as well as you'd think it'd go for a 9-year-old. About 30 pages into writing, I burst into tears, crying to my mom about how overwhelmed I was. I was so eager to write the next great American novel, I didn't take the time to master the fundamentals of writing, which left me overwhelmed with the concept I tried to tackle. Even years later, when I would try to write a new story, I could never get past the first few chapters because I always tried these super complex ideas. And I found that this temptation to skip the fundamentals and jump right to excellence is not uncommon or even writer-specific. Many of us gather here today equipped with dreams and ambitions that we want to pursue. But as I had to learn, sometimes the best way to pursue excellence is to take a few steps back in the process. Because one of the only reasons I was able to finish my book at 9 years old was, with the help of my mom, I created a much simpler story and I told it to the best of my ability. So what does this look like in different career paths? How can all of us, wherever we're at, learn to master the fundamentals of our different crafts? Whether you want to be a writer, a doctor, I saw on the program someone wanted to do gaming development, that's awesome. Coder, actor, musician, there is a basic formula you can follow to achieve greatness wherever you are. Step 1, start small. Nobody learns to master a skill overnight. I didn't. Our parents did it, neither did our teachers or our peers, and not my sister either. You see, my sister is an excellent violinist and has been playing since she was 4 years old. But much to her dismay, before she could even begin playing a remotely complex piece, she had to play 4 different variations of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star a total of 1,000 times. Now, theoretically, she could have practiced those variations to her personal satisfaction and jumped right to the difficult pieces. But I believe it was by her willingness to master these 4 basic variations that she can now play complex pieces beautifully. Sometimes when we hear a master the basics, we don't ever think back to something that small. But it is the people who master the little things that become truly excellent. Practically speaking, whatever you consider the basics, try to think back 3 extra steps. To me, as a writer, the basics might look like writing better characters. But I need to go back further. How do I adjust my posture and organize my writing space to make my writing sessions more productive? How do I build my writing stamina so that I have the mental energy to write more complex characters? By starting small, we will lay a better foundation to our future progress and achievements. Step 2, have patience. The most difficult part of this entire process is consistency and diligence. Because by mastering the basics, you may have the tools to lay your foundation, but you still have to lay it with care. It's at this point where the temptation to skip ahead or to only practice these elements till you achieve the bare minimum results gets much stronger. But as John Flanagan once said, don't practice until you get it right, practice until you can't get it wrong. While it may feel like your attempts at mastery are actually causing your progress to stay stagnant, the foundation you are laying will lead to an incredible jumpstart once it is completed. Think about how so many of the biggest overnight successes never really happened overnight. They were the results of countless years of toil under the radar until one of that day they were finally noticed. Just to name a few: Steve Carell, J.K. Rowling, Michael Jordan, Sabrina Carpenter, James Clear, Octavia Spencer, and Jeff Bezos. All of these people have experienced massive success in their careers despite being in many different fields, all because of their patience in laying the foundation of their career behind the scenes. So don't be discouraged or lose hope. Be patient and diligent in your pursuits because your success may be just around the corner. Step 3, if you get stuck, go back to what you know. After publishing my book in the library, my desire to tell stories never died. I have hundreds of abandoned Google documents in my Google Drive of stories I tried to write but could never complete due to their complexity. Even as I got older and was building better habits, I was still jumping too far ahead. So after receiving a compelling training from a writing workshop I was at, I stripped almost all of the complex elements from my idea and created a very simple concept. My only goal was to write a good book, not a complex one. And I finally did it. After over 3 months of drafting, I created a story I was truly proud of, with characters I wanted to share with others. It may not be a New York Times bestseller, but if I continue to write more books in the way I did this one, maybe one day they will be. And one of the only ways I was able to do this was because when I got stuck, I took another step back. Whatever field you're in, and no matter how long you've been in it, you will always be taking steps back in order to grow. Don't let that discourage you because it's not a bad thing. It's a new perspective and an incredible opportunity to develop your craft. I'm not here to tell you if you start small, your project will magically turn into a complex, groundbreaking result. It probably won't. But by starting small, being patient, and not viewing taking a few steps back as a bad thing, you are fueling yourself to follow your passions to the best of your ability. So to all of the future storytellers, leaders, and creatives out there, start small, stay patient, and don't stop.